Good morning, everybody. I am trying to get this to focus. Deal with me here. All right, this is my first work in progress video, take 2. I did have a take 1, but I said the word like 100 times, So excuse me on that. My name is Anjoli, as you guys all know. You can say it as, you can call me Ange if you want, A-N-J. You can say my name several ways. Ange, of course, for short. Anjoli, Anjali. I found out from a teacher in high school you can also say my name Anjoli, which was pretty nice. I liked it. I am working on DMC code 3772, which is symbol K. I've been married since 2012, but I've known my husband 8 years prior to that. We both worked together at an electrical supply house. I have 2 daughters. One is 13, I did not give birth to. She's actually my niece that I have had since she was 7 months old. I have a daughter who is 4. My husband has 2 older daughters. They're both adults. My husband is 13 years older than me, and the age does not matter because he does not look older than me. Everyone thinks he's my age or younger. Yes, sad. My husband even looks better than me. No, let me stop. But I love him. I cannot complain. There is days, blah, blah, I can't talk. That's what happens when you haven't had a full cup of coffee yet. There are days that I forget that he is so much older than me. I love him. He works very hard. And I'm going to let you guys know a little bit more about me. I took up electrical in high school. I am one of 6 kids. Let me start with the family stuff first. I am one of 6 kids. I am the second oldest. I have an older brother. Then it's me. And then I have 4 younger sisters. My brother and me are the same age for a little over 2 weeks, or about 2 weeks, to be honest, 2 weeks. Everyone around that time that asked us how old we were when we were younger thought we were twins because we were the same age. Well, he had blonde hair, blue eyes. I was a brown eye, freckle face, redhead. Go figure. And it's funny with the girl situation too. I freckle face, red hair. The next one in line, dirty blonde hair. Next one after her, redhead, freckle face. Next one, dirty blonde hair. And next one after that, redhead, freckle face. So yeah, and I found that the doctor my mom told us that delivered all the redheads was the same doctor. She had different doctors for the other ones. So she said she blamed the doctor every time she had them. She said, this one's going to come out with red hair. Sure enough, we came out with red hair. It was funny, though. I worked in the supply house, like I said, for 15 years. I am originally from Connecticut. Moved to Pennsylvania 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago. No family here. My husband had a job opportunity, which helped us a lot financially. And that's the reason why we left Connecticut. It was hard. I didn't like leaving family behind. I say that in all my videos when I bring it up, but it's the truth. I don't like it. I miss going over to my mom's house once a week. I miss seeing my nieces and nephews that were living upstairs or living with my mom also. You miss those things. Family is very important. I took up electrical in high school because I found it very interesting. I worked at a supply house during the time I was in high school. So instead of going to school, you could have worked trade. And so my job was working at a supply house to get to know the material, trying to make sure you guys are still in the shot here. Which was awesome. I got to work instead of going to school. So I did that. Then the following school year, that was junior year of high school, I had the opportunity to go work for a contractor. Well, I found out through some people at work, this contractor was kind of sleazy and probably more likely wouldn't register me through the state because you have to work so many hours to get licensed. And if they don't register you, sometimes they can't count your hours. So when they found out at the supply house, who I was going to work for, because I had to leave, they told me, if you ever need your job back, please come back. Because I was a hard worker. I love working. I love doing things physically. I cannot really be too much of a desk person. I love moving around. So the supply house was good. So I did work there. Everyone told me they don't register you after 3 months. Just leave. Because it's more likely they're not going to register you. And me, I found out being a female, I'm considered a minority in this trade. They got tax breaks for hiring me. So I wasn't sure if that was another reason why they wouldn't register me. Because they were getting a big break. All right, I gotta change out my symbols over here. So while I'm doing that, I'm still gonna talk. So they end up getting a tax break for hiring me, but they never registered me. So I left and went back to the supply house. After probably a year working back at the supply house, that's when my husband started working there. And we started getting to know each other. And that's how our relationship started. But I miss working at the supply house. I knew a bunch of good customers. Everyone was awesome. Not everyone, you always have some of those customers where you just want to punch in the throat. Sorry, so much violence. But yeah. Because no matter what you did, they were never happy. But you had a way on them. And I miss a lot of the guys. Some of the guys I met the first day I started working. And they thought it was like pretty astonishing. This little 115 pounds. Yes, at the time I was 115 pounds, 5'4", little skinny twerp. Lifting all these heavy pipes and wire and copper pipe. Yeah, never mind. Not electrical. That is plumbing. Copper wire is very heavy. The thicker it gets in diameter. And the pipe was heavy. You had EMT and rigid. Rigid pipe was thick steel pipe, and that is heavy. And the largest I could pick up in diameter was 3-inch. But they were astonished by it, and they had a lot of respect for me because I wasn't this, girl just trying to show off in front of men or trying to get anybody's attention, because I wasn't. These guys grew on me. I known these guys for 15 years, so it was heartbreaking having to leave. But I left because I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom with my daughter and enjoy her. I did not have that with my first daughter. It was rough. I did go on vacations with her and stuff, but I didn't see things. I didn't see her first steps. I didn't hear her first words. I didn't, do a lot of that stuff. And I wanted to do that so badly with my my second daughter, sorry. I made up with it with my first daughter by taking her places on the weekends. The zoo, the aquarium, shipyards. They have nice shipyards in Connecticut. So when me and my husband decided to have our second daughter, sorry. It's a team effort here, Ange. We decided I would be a stay-at-home mom. It would be tough. I was making close to $70,000 a year, so it was a big break. With cash, it was very hard. We took the risk. And I don't regret it, to be honest, at all. because I got to enjoy my daughter in ways that I didn't get a chance to enjoy my first one. But I can't take my second one to a lot of places like I did with my first one because we don't have the money. Going back to work, though, talking about work, I haven't gone back to work until the youngest one starts school. I do miss the guys I worked with. They were like family. They grow on you. You have the really super cool ones that every day they come in, hey, how you doing, you know? And there was, there's stories. There are heartbreaking stories about some of the guys that you knew. One would come in all the time, happy face, never gave anyone a hard time. Everyone loved him. No one knew he was having problems outside of work. He ended up killing himself. Broke my heart, basically, because if I knew he was going through something, I could have said something. I could have talked to him. He never mentioned anything. I only saw a little glimpse of something might be wrong, but I wasn't sure one day when he came into the supply house. And he apologized for wasting my time. And I looked at him and I was like, you're not wasting my time. This is my job. I'm supposed to help you and do some research if I can. You guys have so much on your plate. Electricians, they work very hard. They have to put in over 4 years of hours in order to get their different licenses to move up. And owning their own business is very hard too. I'm not going to lie about that. There's so much involved with it. Vehicle maintenance, insurance, LLC, license, all this other stuff. It's not easy. It's not cheap. I've worked with an electrician with his books. Getting insurance costs a lot of money. And a lot of these guys, they take years in order to own their own company, probably more than 12. So they work very hard. So you have to understand sometimes why some of these guys are very expensive. It's not easy moving you guys up. Try to move you guys up without sticking to the canvas here. I went to his funeral, and I found out from an electrician while I was at his funeral. And he kind of, I don't know, he didn't do it in a mean way. But I started crying when he told me, you were the only counter salesperson out of all the supply houses that actually came here to his funeral. He said, I think that would mean a lot to him. And I started crying. Because he was such a nice person. And maybe they had, couldn't take time off of work to go there, but couldn't give a guy a couple hours at least. I don't know. Guess it's just me. Like I said, it's hard being an electrician. It's not easy. I had, a couple people tell me, plumbing, leak, you wet the floor. Electrical, you do something wrong, you're setting the house on fire. It's a tough job. Scary job. Especially if you do have to work with anything live, which I have. I've got shocked a couple times. Not the best feeling in the world. I worked there for 15 years. If I end up going back to work, well, I will be going back to work part-time because I still want to make sure things are get done in the house. I don't want to get overly stressed. No one likes a stressed mom because we are vicious when we do. When I go back to work, it'll be part-time, but I won't go back to the supply house. There is the same supply house, only a half hour from my house where I used to work at Connecticut because it's international. I don't think I'll do that. I just think I'll work at a supermarket. Or better yet, I would rather work as a lunch lady. You can call me old-fashioned or think it's weird. I think it's easy, though. Working as a lunch lady at the schools your kids go to, you get the same days off. You get the same holidays off. If there's a snow day, you don't have to worry about who's going to watch your kid. I think it's a foolproof plan. So you don't have to worry about having a babysitter. Like I said, we work, yeah. Bleh. We live here in Pennsylvania. I'm sorry, I'm bumping the camera. And we don't know too many people. You know, the church I go to, it's an older congregation. A bunch of older people. And I love them. They are so wonderful. I'm trying. The glare from the light is hard to see. Ooh, and there goes my diamonds. Huh. I think I gotta get a new DMC number code thingy-majiggy out. Yeah, I'm bad with words. If you listen to me long enough, I am terrible. But I have to get a new code going on here. Hold on. Yeah, I am bad with talking. I'm terrible. I am not the most articulate speaking person. But yeah. So I worked with a bunch of guys for 15 years, and the last group of guys I worked with, they were awesome. Could always joke around with them. It was fun. You know, we had our moments, of course. But it was fun. I enjoyed working with them. They were a bunch of good guys. They will flirt and burp and stuff like that. Some of the potty language I didn't like. But you gotta take the good with the bad. You know, and just ignore it sometimes if it's something you don't like. They were cool bunch of dudes. I never dated any electricians that came into my job. Never dated any of them. Never even had a fling or any of that stuff. I hung out with a couple of them, but that was about it. We played pool or something. Like I said, I get along with the men a little bit more just because of what I took up. I took up electrical. A lot of girls aren't into that. When I growing up, I did a lot of stuff with my father. I did, drywalling, roofing. He did carpentry stuff on the side. He did some plumbing on the side. Electrical was the only thing he did not know. Did I see me? Okay, good. And I enjoyed it. Like I said, I'm the type of person, I cannot sit still. I cannot watch TV for too long. Even diamond painting, I probably do for an hour at a time, and then I have to get up and walk around and do something. That's how I am. So I get along with men more than females at times, to be honest. I'm not into fashion. I'm not into makeup. I don't knock women that love stuff like that. That's your thing. I don't mind. That's what you like. You know, we all have our little girly things sometimes. We want to wear makeup sometimes for no reason. Stuff like that. I think makeup is a lot of money. I don't like spending hours looking in the mirror at myself either. Because then you'll see flaws, and you know how that goes. But I'm not into this stuff. I try to understand fashion, how things go. It changes so much. It's just, I feel ridiculous at times, so I just don't do it. I don't know, crazy about what's in season, what's not in season. Life to me is too short to be worrying about trying to look perfect for people. But like I said, if people love it and it's their passion, go for it. It's just not my thing. So this is why, you know, it's not good, but I gravitate more towards just talking with a group of guys because I could kind of relate with certain things. But like I said, it's not good. I shouldn't be doing it anymore. You know, that's just, I'm saying again, sorry. Well, it's the life, I guess. Here we go. I'm trying to get over here. Trying to do the J's. Man down. But that's how my work ethic is. I am not licensed electrician, of course. I never got licensed. It took so many years. I just stayed at the supply house. I enjoyed it. I love helping customers. Customers would say I was one of the best. I don't consider myself one of the best. I could just consider myself doing my job. That's what I got paid to do. I need another symbol now. And that's what I said. And I would tell contractors that don't consider myself one of the best. I got paid to do a job. My job was to make sure you guys had your material. No one likes getting to the job site and some of the material is wrong. Especially when they're driving almost an hour and a half, 2 hours to get to a job. And find out you have wrong stuff. Woo! No, 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 no. Believe me, no. You know how many times we would get a call because someone screwed up and you'll get someone just chewing your ear off? Not a good feeling. And if it was my customer, usually I'll go and make the trip to give them the material they need because I did feel bad if I did ruin an order and gave them the wrong material. But I always try to double check myself. I had an electrician double check before he leaves while I was typing up his order. Because gas costs money. You know, these guys, like I said, it's tough business for them. So when it came down to it, I just wanted to make sure my customer was happy. They're the reason why I was getting my paycheck. No customers, no paycheck. I used to get into arguments sometimes with one of my managers about that. He thought he was more important than the customer, and I had to put him in his place. Sorry. You know, you have disagreements with your coworkers. But I looked at him and I was like, you don't give me my paycheck in reality. The customer does. So, I don't want to hear from you. In lack of better words, I guess. Ooh, one has a big hole in it. But my customers were cool. Like I said, I still miss them. Some of them retired. Some of them moved on. Some of the people I work with don't even work there anymore at one of the supply houses. Everyone is living their lives to, you know, some people are still working there and I'm so surprised they are. Not from like thinking, oh wow, the place was so bad, because it wasn't like that. Well, some places were, but not all of them. I'm just surprised some of them hasn't retired yet. Oh, I have a bee that's all wonky. Get out of here. Go away. Yeah, you hear a little bit of an accent. I laugh because people around here are like, you're not from around here, your accent. I'm like, I have an accent? It's funny, even in Connecticut, everyone has a different accent too. You got some of them that sound like they're from New York. Yeah, sometimes that comes out of me like that. Especially when I get mad. And I'm like, close the door. Or you get some of them that I've heard, they're not too far from where I grew up in Bridgeport, Connecticut. So I would go up to the Valley area, which was part of Shelton, Ansonia, Derby, those little towns up there. And so one day I went up there because my mom moved up there. I got my hair trimmed at one of the places. And the lady goes to me, you're not from the Valley. And I'm like, okay. Yeah, you talk different. And I'm looking at her like, I talk different? What are you talking about? And she goes to me, you're from like Bridgeport or something? I said, yeah. Like, oh, that explains it. But it's funny because we're in between Massachusetts and Rhode Island. And on the other side of us, of course, is New York, where my husband is from. And it's funny. I just laugh. Like, I had this coworker, she was from Dallas, Texas. And she did our accounts payable. And she came to visit. And she visited this nice steakhouse they have in Bridgeport. And one of the guys was talking to her and he goes, you're not from around here. And she goes, well, what gave that away? My Texas accent? I started laughing. Like, of course she's not from around here. You're talking to her. She don't sound like she's from anywhere around here. She was hilarious. I loved her. She no longer works for the company either. Sorry, I bumped the camera. Well, I'm gonna go. I think 25 minutes is long enough. But leave in the comments any questions. Please, 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 please do. So I can come up with other things to talk about. Besides what I used to do for work. Any questions in particular? I try to answer them the best I can. There's certain things I might not answer, depending on what it is. If it's way too personal or what it might be in general. And like I said, I could talk about now, but I'll be talking about my kids more than anything. And we got Thanksgiving coming up. Me and my husband opened our house to our church members. Because like I said, they're a lot older than us. Well, I don't want to say a lot older, but they're in their 50s and 60s, and some of them are even older. And they don't have a lot of family around here themselves. So we told them, anyone that want to come over for Thanksgiving, we're opening our house. Come, have food with us, it's fellowship. We always enjoyed everyone's company at church. So we opened our house. Because my family, was almost a 3.5, 4-hour drive here. And they have work the next day after Thanksgiving, so, they don't want to have to drive and then drive home after. If they had the day off, they would probably stay, which is fine. And I understand, it's hard. Especially with kids, driving around that long with kids. But we try to visit Connecticut. We visit, I think, so far 3 times this year. 2, 3 times. We like to try to visit again in December, which we will be going again in December. Seeing everybody, exchanging gifts, doing that stuff.